what is this podcast about? It probably would help if you don't chew into the mic.
My name is Libby.
My name is Luke.
In this new episode.
This
new season.
And we are going to be focusing completely on weddings.
We are, in fact, the Wedding Pirates.
There's no other podcast like this. I've looked. I've checked.
And we have a cat. Her name is Stella.
We want to share all the secrets when it comes to weddings.
The one where we talk. Wedding edition.
Hello.
And welcome
Back.
to
The one where we talk. We are the Wedding Pirates, Luke and Libby, where we're talking about all things weddings, answering all your questions point blank. Like, not glossing over it. Like, we actually have answers. And if we don't have answers, we're just going to tell you we don't have answers. So, this episode, we're talking about luxury weddings versus budget weddings. Budget weddings. I think that no matter where you are in your financial journey, you're always, once you get, everybody is rich until it comes to paying for a wedding. Because we've worked with people who make close to $500,000 a year, and they are still trying to pinch pennies. You know, they are still trying to make sure that they can do their wedding to a point where it doesn't get out of hand. And I think there's a lot to be said for that. I wrote something down a while ago, like a rule that brides should have for themselves when they're shopping for vendors is don't say the price doesn't matter. I just want a quality product. Don't say that, because then a vendor's like going to say, okay, then $1 million. Wait, well, no, I don't have that much. Like, okay, so you do have a budget. Let's figure it out. Mm-hmm. So, because we have to cover our end, and we want to cater to your needs. So, honestly, the way that the sales end of the things have been working for me lately has been, well, let me figure out your needs. Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you what I have, and if I can fill those needs, and this is how much it's going to cost me.
Right.
Like, for example, where a videographer or a photographer's prices are based is going to be firstly in their camera and their program, what they're using. Those are the two number one tools that they need to accomplish your wedding. Everything else is a bonus. They don't need all these fancy programs and marketing and all these things. They don't need to pay for SEO. That comes later. Those are luxuries for us. Mm-hmm. The two things that I build our prices on are the cameras and our gear overall. I always say, if I drop a camera at a wedding and it busts, it is useless. It is done. And it says in contract that you're not responsible for that. Like, the bride and groom are not responsible for that. That's my fault. I dropped my gear. That's my responsibility. I need to make sure that I can replace that camera, because I might have a wedding the next day or next week.
Yeah.
And putting a claim on insurance makes your rate go up. So it's like, is it worth it? So it's making sure that you can actually insure yourself. And that is a big portion of the price tag, because if I drop my camera, can I replace it? And you need to remember that what we're shooting with in particular, just you, the photographer, you're holding, what is it, like closest between $6,000 and $7,000 worth of gear in your hand. And me the same. I'm holding between $6,000 and $7,000 worth of gear. So when someone says, like, $8,000 for photo and video, or even $10,000 for photo and video is too much, that's honestly not terrible. Like, $6,000 for a photography and videography package, that's a steal.
That's
when
like
you consider
for each.
Yeah, when you consider that if I drop my camera, if I drop one of our cameras, I'll barely be able to replace it, and I'm going to make no profit on that wedding.
Right.
So that's the first, and then after that, that's the first thing on our minds. And then after that, you have the pre-care, so like pre-customer care, meaning you got access to us 24/7.
Right.
So, and most of our brides and grooms are booking 10 to 12 months out.
Yeah.
So if they're booking 10 to 12 months out, you're talking to us sometimes every day. Some brides and grooms don't take advantage of that, and that's fine. Some brides and grooms don't take advantage of it until like a week before their wedding. That's fine. But we're still going to make sure that we're making meetings with you and we're staying up to date. We have your shot list and your expectations, seeing how you're doing, And
Set
where
up
you're,
FaceTimes.
yeah, set up FaceTimes. We're going to make that effort. And the effort on your end is completely different. And then you have post-production. There's a total of 40 hours in every wedding post-production.
Sometimes more.
Sometimes more.
Depending on the wedding. Sometimes less, depending on the wedding.
Yeah, it depends on, especially for me, like for video-wise, depends on how creative I have to get based on the energy that was at the wedding. So keeping all that in mind, you want luxury for a budget price. It's not going to happen. You either need to have a budget or you need to say, screw the budget, I'm going to do luxury. And not everybody, I have yet to meet somebody who's in that place, unless you are one of these photographers or videographers who's doing royalty weddings.
Yeah.
Or weddings for
celebrities
or something like that. Then you could just bill them whatever you want. So just keeping that in mind, most of our clients are working on a budget. We're normal people. They're normal people. We work with normal rebels. You know, unfortunately, pirates were rich in their own minds. But at the end of the day, they weren't really rich.
Yeah. I would not say that we were rich.
No. I would say we're rich in experiences, and I enjoy my lifestyle, and we're able to afford to have an apartment and afford to run a business, and making sure that we could just live, sleep, eat, and also enjoy each other's company, making sure that we take care of our cats. Yeah, that's on your invoice. I'm just gonna stick my cat's medical bills on your invoice.
Yeah.
But do you have anything to add on to this? I've been talking here for about 6.5 minutes.
6.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, I just think, as far as like photography and videography goes, if you're gonna be going more on like a budget versus luxury, you're probably gonna be hiring a friend that has been doing this very long. Like we were in that situation.
Yeah.
Like the first wedding that we did was $300, and I would say that was a budget wedding. The second wedding too, maybe the third. And then after that, we started getting a bit more, like, luxurious weddings. But we didn't have the experience that we needed to be a luxury wedding vendor.
Right.
So, like, for budget people, like, of course, luxury people are always going to be looking for the best thing that they can get for the best price. But for budget, I feel like you're willing to cut corners wherever you want and not hiring professionals.
Right.
So professionals as far as like florists, or professionals as far as the DJ.
And a lot of that has to do with priorities.
Yeah.
Too. You can have a budget and prioritize. That's honestly what a budget means.
In all honesty, though, like if you want to try and cut corners as much as possible, just elope.
I mean, if we're really being honest, if you're doing a budget wedding and you're like, I have $3 in my bank account, and I'm gonna put I'm gonna put this entire I'm gonna put this
$1 for you and $1 for you.
I'm gonna put this entire wedding on my credit card, multiple credit cards. Don't do that. You know what you should do. You can elope for less than 10 grand. And you can be in Italy.
So would you rather have 10 grand on your credit card?
Hold on. You can be in Italy, and you can hire a photographer and a videographer or one or the other just for the day. You just pay for their ticket. You give them a generous tip, and you send them home for like a 2-hour shoot.
Or hire someone on Airbnb, a photographer on Airbnb, do like
that could be
shoot.
That could be a risky. That could be I don't know if I would do that for a wedding. Maybe I don't know. It's kind of hard to say.
If you're eloping to a country, it's not a big shindig.
I guess that's true. You
just get some pictures in your wedding dress.
Yeah, you wouldn't even have to fly anybody out then. You could do it for less than 10 grand.
Yeah.
Because if you figured you're gonna pay at least between $1,500 to $2,000 per ticket, that's $4 grand. You're gonna pay pay between $1,000 to $2,000 for like 5 days if you find good Airbnbs for like under $80 to $100 a night, and then you throw food in there and a few experiences, and you have yourself a really awesome week planned for an elopement wedding, and you get an amazing photos.
Yeah.
And so, to be honest, that's your budget wedding.
Yeah.
Don't go getting married at your mom and dad's Baptist yellow pew church that
Ew.
looks like barf.
Gross.
And then go.
All your pictures
and
will
then
be
you're
black
gonna
and
go.
white.
Yeah, all your pictures gonna be black and white. And then you're gonna go to your parents' house. Gets your parents' church, your parents' house. Then you're gonna go to your parents' house in your backyard. and
Don't get me wrong. There's nothing
yeah.
wrong with backyard weddings. Sometimes
No.
they can be done very, very well.
I shouldn't say backyard. I should say what's the back? Oh, the local firehouse.
Or the living,
backyard is
the
better than the
room.
local. Yeah, the living room. Or backyard is better than the local firehouse or even the local golf course. Or it's just not worth it.
Some golf courses are really nice.
Have you been to a golf course? It's really nice.
Yeah, Robin Ashley's place was not bad.
Oh, that place is newly remodeled though. Bent Creek has been newly remodeled. So
Okay, well, it's still a golf course and it's decent.
Yeah, you're right. But that was the first one. And how long?
Also, too, were Heather and what's his face?
It wasn't my favorite. I didn't really like it. It was difficult to film in, and because for a videographer, I'm also filming the entire time, and and a lot of times I can't really choose the angles that I'm getting. And for a photo, you snap the still shot.
But it had nice lighting.
Yes, it's got decent lighting, but decent natural lighting can't fix everything. If I actually had the choice to fix something, that space, I would bring in lighting, and then that would be a nice venue. But obviously, that's not how weddings work.
It's also very long and skinny, I guess.
Yeah, the carpet wasn't fun. It's just one of those like golf courses are just not my first choice. Yes, the windows were amazing, but at the same time, sometimes windows can be a little annoying because you get washed out in the background when the sun's you get around blue hour, and
carpet at venues is just not great. Like if they're just area rugs, that's cool. Like if they're nice area rugs, but yeah, carpeting at venues is just very cheap looking.
So I guess to get back to the subject here, between your budget and luxury, if you were gonna choose between a golf course that's just okay, with all the things that we're talking about, like, yeah, we could do this, I guess this could work and this would be all right, versus going off to Italy or Spain or Portugal or the Philippines, for crying out loud, like anywhere, just go somewhere, and then just hiring a local photographer to just snap some photos of you, some maybe majestic photos of you at the beach or on a top of a mountain or something like that for a couple hours, and it costs you, usually those photo shoots cost you between like $300 to $600 depending on who you're getting. That's a budget right there. Mm-hmm. That's way.
I wouldn't mind doing that.
I wouldn't mind doing that.
Can we get remarried?
We technically kind of did that. We went to Paris and we got a photo shoot.
Yeah, but I wasn't in a wedding dress.
No. Yeah, we didn't really plan our outfits for that. We kind of did it we did like a local, quote unquote. We wanted to look like locals in the area.
Yeah.
While a photographer was taking snapshots of us.
Yeah, because it's hard to get pictures of ourselves on trips.
Now, if you're a luxurious wedding, say that now, like, okay, well, I don't want a budget wedding. I have, $50,000, $60,000 that I'm going to drop on my wedding. And that's available to me. And now this is an option for me. Okay. So if you are a budget person, you've been listening up to this point, this is probably not going to apply to you. So you've gone from we're just going to escape and elope off to a foreign country and get a couple hours shoot and it's going to cost us less than $10,000 to now this day is going to cost you $60,000. Mm-hmm. Probably that's spread out over the weekend as well. Okay, now
I don't know, like 60 to 100 grand. I feel like is
the average wedding in America right now is costing between 50 and 60. So I'm talking like anything above that, you're getting into like closer to like low tier celebrity. So we're talking to mainly our clientele that we work with at the moment. We don't work with a lot of celebrities. We have a few this year that we're working with. Not very super well known celebrities, but they're celebrities to us.
Yeah, they are. Super cool people.
So there's are still things you need to take into account. So for example, the venue. If you go back and listen to our the episode right before this about how to pick a venue, how to pick a wedding venue, then you'll hear my experience with that barn, and that was a luxurious venue. Okay, there was luxurious food. They had the best of everything. She had a gorgeous dress. The photographer, had all GM lenses, shooting on A1s with a Leica around his neck. Gross. So there was no expense spared here, but the everything was overhyped. The venue itself was gross. The food was mediocre but was expensive, and the only thing quality there, honestly, was the photographer and myself. I'm not sorry. Oh, the DJ was pretty cool. He was a pretty cool guy, but just so keeping in mind that just because a company says they're luxury doesn't mean that they are luxury. So keep that in mind, because it's really difficult to keep quality control over massive amounts of food, and everybody is luxury as long as they just have to say it. But you need to actually find out if they really are luxury. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what would you...
Did they provide a luxury package or not? And I think a lot of that has to do with reviews. And Luke and I have actually been asked by people, grooms and brides, for references from past brides and grooms.
Yeah.
You could totally do that and ask, hey, can I have contact information from past people you've worked with to talk about this venue or this DJ or the photographer or videographer or caterer?
Yeah, I think that's very valid. That
and
could
say,
be...
hey, the price tag that they gave you versus the service they gave you, was it luxurious? Like the price tag, was it luxurious, and did they give me a luxury product experience? Or was their price luxury and they gave me a mediocre experience, so they're a budget experience?
Right. Because you have a lot of luxury brands that will, have the luxury price tag, but not the luxury experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like going back to, like, Gucci. Like, it's a luxury brand, but where do they source all their stuff?
From China.
Well, I don't know.
No, it's in Italy. Well, I think that they outsourced what was back in the 80s. Doesn't matter.
Like, it's like looking back at the source of where stuff is coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a valid question. And because you could have somebody brand new, so you could have a photographer or a videographer or a florist that's just really good at marketing. Maybe they have maybe they have like a really exceptional portfolio, and their website looks good and everything about them looks good. But then you find out, wait, you've only been in business for a year, or maybe 10 months. Okay, so you have your marketing game is on point, but seems a little expensive. This luxurious price tag seems a little expensive for the experience that you have. You mind, and you could ask the question. So maybe oh, well, I have another company that I started, and this one's new. So I've actually been in business, for 20 years, but this is a newer company branch that we want to cater to just weddings, and the other one is catering to funerals or something like that. So you could ask those questions. You don't just write something else like, oh, well, you're too expensive for you've only been in business for a year. No, ask them why. Why are you so expensive and you've only been in business for a short amount of time? That's a valid question. These are luxury questions you need to be asking.
Right.
And if you don't ask them and you just assume something is luxurious because they say so and it looks like it, and you never actually open up the book, never actually look past the cover, you're taking a risk. Yeah. And you don't want to take a risk.
Feel free to ask all the questions because you're the one paying.
Yeah, you are. You're the boss.
Like for the caterer, ask where the food is sourced from. How do you keep the food warm?
Yeah.
How do you make sure that people aren't going to get sick? How do you store it properly? How do you serve it? How many cater?
Where do you source your staff from?
Yeah. Like, what is your interview process for your staff?
And all this seems rather extensive, but we're talking luxury here. You're putting 50 to 60 grand in one day. You need to be asking these questions.
Right.
You need to be vetting your vendors, so to speak. And we have a couple episodes that really hits on this very hard, that you need to ask all the questions to your vendors. And whoever is answering the questions how you want them to be answered, this is an interview. You're the boss. You need to look at this as if you are the
boss.
owner,
the CEO.
Yeah, you are the CEO of this company. You're basically you're throwing an event. You're throwing a giant event that you've most likely have never done an event planning before, usually.
Unless you are an event planner or in that business.
And we worked with a couple of those brides or grooms, and that's always luxurious for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fun.
I think a lot of brides end up discovering that they actually enjoy planning, and so they actually end up going on to be planners.
Yeah.
And say, it's been a couple brides this year that would say, like, you should be a wedding planner.
Mm-hmm.
But just keeping all that in mind, it sounds very extensive, but if you want a luxury wedding and you want this to look good and you want your day to actually go well, you need to be doing this research. You need to be asking these questions. You need to be acting like a boss. And if you don't want to act like a boss and you don't like planning and you don't like doing all this, well, you're a luxury. You have a luxury budget. So get a coordinator. They'll do it all for you. That's what a coordinator's for.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, if you have that kind of budget for your wedding and you don't have a coordinator, then, I mean, I don't know. You're
figure it out.
Yeah.
Get a coordinator. They're super helpful.
They are super helpful. And if you don't get a coordinator, you're going to have to ask all these questions. You're going to have to vet all these vendors. And these coordinators most likely already have vendors that they trust.
Mm-hmm. So, they worked well with and stuff.
Yeah. Remember, I think that's all we have time for. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, I don't think so.
Remember to go at Broadside Visuals to look at us as humans, and we have our YouTube channel with all of our videography stuff, and broadsidevisuals.com is where you can get a hold of us for all your wedding pirate needs. And this is the one where we talk.